The morning sun bathed the bamboo grove in gentle light, casting a golden hue across the forest floor. Birds chirped melodiously, filling the air with a symphony of life. The Buddha sat beneath a Bodhi tree, his serene presence radiating calmness. Disciples gathered around him, their faces reflecting a mix of awe and reverence. Among them was a young monk named Anuruddha, troubled and restless. He stepped forward, his hands folded in respectful salutation. "Blessed One," Anuruddha began, his voice trembling with frustration. "I have given my heart and soul to this path." He paused, his eyes searching the Buddha's face for understanding. "Yet, I see no progress. My meditations bear no fruit. My efforts seem meaningless. Why is this so?" The Buddha regarded him with compassionate eyes, his expression unwaveringly calm. "Anuruddha," the Buddha said, his voice like a soothing stream, "your feelings are not unfamiliar. The path to enlightenment is fraught with challenges, doubts, and moments of despair. Yet, each effort carries profound significance. Do you see the lotus pond nearby?" The Buddha gestured, his hand indicating the serene waters glistening in sunlight. "Observe its beauty." The disciples turned their attention to the pond, where lotus flowers floated gracefully on the water's surface. "These lotuses emerge from the muddy depths," the Buddha continued, his tone thoughtful and measured. "They rise above the filth to bloom in purity. Your efforts are like the roots of the lotus, hidden beneath the surface yet essential for growth and bloom." Anuruddha frowned slightly, his brows furrowed with doubt. "But Blessed One, how do I know my efforts are not in vain? What if they lead to nothing?" The Buddha leaned forward slightly, his gaze piercing yet kind. "Anuruddha, have you ever planted a seed in the soil?" "Yes, Blessed One," Anuruddha replied, nodding. "I have planted seeds and tended to them in my youth." "When you plant a seed," the Buddha said, his voice steady, "do you expect it to sprout immediately? Do you abandon it if it does not?" Anuruddha shook his head slowly, the realization beginning to dawn. "No, Blessed One, I continue to water it, trusting that it will grow in time." "Exactly," the Buddha said, his face illuminated by a gentle smile. "Your efforts are like the watering of that seed." Kitu, emboldened by the teachings, said, "Master, I will seek forgiveness from my family and use my wealth to bring light to others." Buddha smiled warmly, saying, "Kitu, your resolution reveals the power of choices. When they serve the greater good, they transcend all sorrow. So, Blessed One, my efforts are never wasted, even if unseen?" "Indeed," Anuruddha, the Buddha replied, his tone reassuring. "Every moment of mindfulness, every act of compassion, nourishes your inner being." He added, "The past cannot be undone, but it can inspire you to sow the seeds of compassion for a brighter tomorrow." The disciples bowed low, their burdens eased, their minds renewed with the understanding gifted by the Buddha's timeless teachings. "But, Blessed One," Anuruddha asked hesitantly, "how can I find peace amidst this uncertainty? How can I continue without losing heart?" The Buddha closed his eyes briefly, as if gathering his thoughts. When he spoke again, his voice carried a profound depth. "Anuruddha, peace does not lie in the outcome. It lies in the sincerity of your efforts. Let go of the desire for results. Focus on the present moment, on the purity of your intention and action. Trust that the path itself is the reward, that each step brings you closer to understanding and liberation." Anuruddha bowed deeply, his heart lighter than it had been in days. "Thank you, Blessed One," he said, his voice filled with gratitude. "Your words have lifted the burden of my doubt." The Buddha nodded, his serene smile unchanged. "Remember, Anuruddha, the lotus does not bloom by yearning for sunlight. It blooms by growing steadily." Day by day, the disciples rose slowly, their spirits uplifted and their resolve strengthened. The golden light of the sun seemed to shine more brightly. As if blessing their renewed commitment, the forest returned to its gentle hum, a living witness to the timeless wisdom that had been shared. Once, I stood before the great river, torn between continuing my search for truth or returning to the comforts of home. Buddha recounted. The call of my former life was strong, yet the suffering I witnessed held my feet firmly upon my chosen path. The air was crisp and fragrant with the scent of blooming flowers, adding a sense of peace to the morning. The disciples gathered near a quiet riverbank, their robes rustling gently in the soft breeze. Among them was a merchant named Javaka, his face marked by worry and hesitation. He stepped forward and bowed low before the Buddha, his voice trembling with uncertainty. The whispers are not enemies. They are signposts revealing the lessons embedded within the choices made in moments of uncertainty. The disciples began to reflect on Buddha's teachings, finding comfort in the possibility of seeing their doubts through a lens of clarity. Sarva asked, "Master, how can one let go of imagining the alternate paths when regret feels as persistent as the air itself?" Buddha said, "Sarva, letting go is not a denial of what could have been. It is embracing the fullness of what is." He added, "The mind seeks balance, not void. To let go, fill the space of regret with purpose aligned with your present path." Kavi asked, "Master, how can joy emerge in the heart that still feels the weight of regret from paths left untouched?" Buddha replied, "Joy emerges through gratitude, for even regret opens the door to wisdom, transforming the soul with profound understanding. Gratitude makes room for joy, and this joy becomes the fuel that propels your journey toward freedom and deeper truth," he explained. Buddha's words brought visible relief to the disciples, their hearts beginning to accept the impermanence of paths not taken in life. Brahma asked, "Master, is it ever possible to know if the path not taken would have brought greater fulfillment than the current?" Buddha replied, "Brahma, the illusion of fulfillment in alternate paths is a creation of the mind, not rooted in the reality of life." The Buddha nodded, his expression thoughtful. "This river begins as a small stream, winding through obstacles, nourishing life along its course," he said. "It does not question its purpose, nor does it measure its worth by its speed or size. Your sacrifices are like the journey of this river, flowing steadily toward the vast ocean of enlightenment," the Buddha explained. Buddha nodded, his gaze encouraging. "Megha, trust that your choices, guided by sincerity, unfold into the beauty of the lessons revealed." Sarva added, "I will release my regret and seek purpose in the wisdom I share, bringing hope beyond my village walls." "But, Venerable Sir," he said hesitantly, "how can I know that my efforts are not in vain?" The Buddha picked up a lotus flower from the riverbank, its petals glistening with water droplets. "Do you see this lotus, Javaka?" the Buddha asked, holding it gently in his hand. Buddha concluded, "Kavi, the search for gratitude begins with acceptance and grows into joy that shines brightly through even the heaviest doubts." Brahma said, "Master, I will honor the road beneath my feet, trusting its truth above the illusion of paths left untouched." Buddha's serene smile brought peace to the disciples. As their hearts opened to the teachings that illuminated their journey forward, the disciples bowed low, their minds lighter, their hearts uplifted, ready to embrace their paths with the clarity Buddha had shared. "So, Venerable Sir," he asked, "should I not fear the sacrifices I have made?" "Indeed, Javaka," the Buddha replied, his voice firm yet gentle. "Every sacrifice is a step toward liberation, a shedding of attachments." A disciple named Amara spoke first, her voice tinged with curiosity, as she asked about the nature of destiny itself. "Master," Amara said, "is destiny a force beyond our control, or do our actions shape the path we are destined to walk?" Buddha looked at Amara with gentle understanding, his serene expression reflecting the wisdom of countless lessons learned along his journey. "But, Venerable Sir," Javaka said, his voice now steady, "how do I find the strength to continue when doubt arises again?" The Buddha's serene gaze met Javaka's, his expression imbued with profound wisdom. "Javaka, the strength lies not in the absence of doubt, but in the courage to face it and persist. Do not measure your progress by the visible fruits of your effort," the Buddha continued, his words resonating deeply. "Measure it by your dedication to the path, by the sincerity of your intention and action." Javaka bowed deeply, his heart filled with gratitude and a renewed sense of purpose. "Thank you, Venerable Sir," he said, his voice firm and resolute. "Your words have illuminated my path." The Buddha nodded, his smile as serene as ever. "Remember, Javaka, the river does not question its journey, nor does it fear its purpose. It flows." The disciples rose slowly, their spirits uplifted and their hearts filled with newfound resolve. The river's gentle murmur seemed to echo the Buddha's words, a reminder of the timeless wisdom they carried. He continued, "Even when faced with uncertainty, choosing kindness and truth will guide you toward a destiny that uplifts both yourself and others." A disciple named Ramesh asked, "Master, are there times when destiny seems unchangeable, no matter how much effort we put into our actions?" Buddha answered, "Ramesh, certain circumstances may appear beyond control, yet your response to them holds the power to transform their impact on your journey." Another day, the sun sank low in the sky, casting long shadows over the forest of Veluvana. The disciples gathered near the sacred Bodhi tree, their faces illuminated by the golden light of the setting sun. The air was filled with the sound of rustling leaves and the faint hum of cicadas. The Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, his posture upright and his gaze calm as he surveyed the gathering. His presence seemed to harmonize with the natural serenity of the forest, bringing an indescribable stillness to the moment. The disciples waited in quiet anticipation, sensing that the teaching about to unfold would touch the depths of their souls. Among them was a young monk named Upali, whose eyes reflected uncertainty mixed with a yearning for truth. Upali stepped forward hesitantly, his hands folded in reverence as he bowed before the Buddha. "Blessed One," he began, his voice tinged with doubt, "I have practiced diligently, yet my heart remains restless." He paused, searching for the words to express his inner conflict. "I strive to uphold the precepts and meditate deeply, yet my mind feels unsteady. I fear I am failing in my efforts." The Buddha regarded him with compassionate eyes, his face serene and untroubled. "Upali," the Buddha said, his tone gentle yet firm, "the path of effort is not without its challenges. Your restlessness is a reflection of your desire for results, a longing for tangible signs of progress." The Buddha continued, "True effort arises not from seeking rewards, but from aligning oneself with the Dharma and living it in purity." Buddha smiled, saying, "Tara, your acceptance becomes a beacon, guiding others to find peace within the storms of their own journeys." The disciples bowed low, their hearts brimming with gratitude for the wisdom shared and the clarity brought to their understanding of destiny. When he spoke again, his voice carried an unshakable clarity. "Upali, consider the nature of effort itself. Effort is not a transaction between your actions and the universe. It is not measured by the fruits it bears." The Buddha gestured toward the nearby stream, its waters glimmering under the fading light. "Do you see this stream, flowing effortlessly over the rocks and pebbles?" Upali nodded, his gaze following the Buddha's gesture. "Yes, Blessed One. It flows steadily, undeterred by obstacles." "Exactly," the Buddha said, his expression thoughtful. "The stream does not flow with the expectation of reaching a destination. It flows because it is its nature to do so. Your effort, upali, should be like the stream, unwavering and pure, motivated not by results, but by sincerity and commitment. The disciples exchanged glances of understanding, their hearts resonating with the profound simplicity of the Buddha's teaching. Look closely at the water, he instructed, and tell me what you see. I peered into the pond, noticing the moon's reflection amidst the faint ripples. Upali, letting go is a practice in itself, a form of effort that cleanses the mind and liberates the soul. Do not resist your desires for achievement. Observe them with mindfulness and compassion. Acknowledge them as part of your journey. By observing them without attachment, you weaken their hold over you, allowing your efforts to flow freely. Like the stream before us, it illuminates the choices before us, ensuring each step aligns with intention. The disciples grew quiet, their minds filled with images of rivers, paths, and the courage required to face uncertainty and doubt. Your teaching has shown me the true meaning of effort. The Buddha smiled gently, his presence radiating serenity. Remember, upali, effort is not a measure of success, but a reflection of your dedication to the path. Trust that each step you take, each moment of mindfulness, adds to the reservoir of merit within you. The disciples rose slowly, their spirits uplifted and their resolve strengthened. The last rays of the sun bathed the forest in a warm glow, as if bearing witness to the timeless wisdom that had been shared. Though his words brought comfort, the practical challenge of facing anxiety in the moment still lingered in my heart. Blessed One, I asked, what can I do when anxiety grips me so tightly that I cannot think clearly? The Buddha held out his hand, motioning for me to give him my attention entirely. Buddha walked towards Sita, placing a hand gently on her shoulder, grounding her with the touch of quiet compassion. The unknown carries the seeds of possibility, he said. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.